Hey guys, Christian here. Welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to be talking about and installing what has to be one of the coolest BMW upgrades that I've ever featured on the channel. And I'm not exaggerating. This freaking product is going to blow your minds away. And I'm sure you guys would be delighted to know that we're going to actually be working on the E90 335i today. A lot of you guys have been asking, what happened to the car? It made 700 horsepower in the dyno and we never got to see more content on it. Well, there's a reason behind it and I'll talk about it later on. Today we'll be focusing on the interior, which is the part of the car that a lot of people tend to overlook when it comes to upgrades, and they really shouldn't, because it's where you spend most of your time. You gotta admit, this saddle bronze interior does not look bad for a car that has 143,000 miles. So here's what my interior looks like. Very basic, very OEM. There's really nothing going on. I have an iDrive system, which is pretty cool, but a little bit outdated. And then we have a traditional analog gauge cluster. Let me go ahead and turn the car on. Very loud. Look at that. I'm averaging a whopping 11.3 miles per gallon. That's what happens when you run full E85 and you're producing over 700 horsepower to the wheel. But anyways, you guys should be very familiar with this gauge cluster right here. It's used on other generations like the E60 as well, and obviously the E90. It's very basic analog, which, you know, a lot of people like. You got some functions here where you can kind of go through stuff there, the oil, set times, brightness, and stuff like that. Very old. I'm essentially going to be upgrading this entire unit to something much more modern. It's an all digital gauge cluster. Let me show you guys. By the way, do not mind the cooling light. I know if I don't address this, you guys are going to blow it up in the comment section below. The sensor is broken. That's why it's lit up. Don't worry about it.
Because I'm not running a front bumper and I don't have like an aftermarket expansion tank, the sensor is pretty much getting beat the fuck up by this tire right here every time I turn. I think that's the second sensor I've gone through in 1 week. So that's the reason.
Let me not keep you guys in suspense any longer. This is from a company called ID4 Motion Gauge Clusters. This was packaged a lot better, but I ended up unpackaging everything once I received it to ensure that nothing was broken and everything was intact. One of the things that they include is the replacement cover for the gauge cluster. This is going to go with their digital one and replace the one that you have on the car. And this right here is the awesome stuff. It looks like the bracket to attach it to like the top portion of the trim and inside of the car is already pre-attached, which is why they cut into the box. Very unique. Thanks for your order and enjoy your new cluster. Kind regards, Nick. Here it is, guys. The digital gauge. By the way, this is 10.3 inches diagonally. I believe resolution is 1920 by 720, so it should look very, very clean. Here's what the back of the unit looks like. Very simple. You got a USB connection here. What I really like about this upgrade is that it's plug and play. It just plugs into like the factory connections behind the gauge cluster, and that is it. There's no coding necessary. I think you just got to provide your VIN number, and that's about it. So then the gauge cluster cover here goes over the screen like this, and it'll fit into place right here, and the bottom portion right here. So essentially, when you have it installed, this is what it's going to look like, right? The corners won't be visible once installed. Like, how cool is that? That's freaking cool. So a 12-year-old BMW, you know, like my E90 335i, it's going to have a touch that kind of resembles newer BMWs. The screen obviously is going to be calibrated to just this portion of the screen. Man, I cannot wait to see how this functions. I'll be very honest with you guys. I had no idea this modification existed a few months ago, but since you guys are so awesome on Instagram, you guys are always sending me products to look at, and this is one of those things that really stood out. There wasn't a lot of content on it, and people who were hesitant to buy it because they wanted to see, I guess, like a real world experience and review on it. So what I ended up doing is I reached out to the company and explained just that there's not enough content on it. And I think people need validation, so I told them I would like to review the unit, and they went ahead and sent one out to me. Real quick, guys, I wanted to show you guys something that's very interesting. So here's my analytics to my YouTube channel. It shows that 83% of you guys that watch my videos are not even subscribed. Come on, guys. Help a brother out. Take a second, hit the subscribe button, tap the bell notification. It's totally free to do. It takes a second. Let's make this percentage better. All right, let's go ahead and install this baby onto the car. It should be a very simple and easy installation, since there's literally just 2 screws right here. This pops off. You release the connections. I believe you pull this out. There's some connections there as well. And then you pop this in, screw it in, and we are good to go. I do have a head unit that I'm also going to install to the car, which is packed with a lot of features, so stay tuned for that video as well. I just found this in the box too, so it comes with a screen protector, which I'm probably not going to install, but it's a nice touch. So this is like a cutout diagram, I guess. You're supposed to cut into the ventilation tubes behind the gauge clusters. That's something I did not mention. You do have to do some cutting, and you gotta use this as a reference. And then you take the shield. I remember seeing this on their installation video. You take the shield and then you cover up the cutout that you made. I don't think it's for fitment reasons. I think it's more for heat protection against the plastic ventilation tubes, because I'm sure that device gets pretty hot back there. You place that in there and then it protects the ventilation system from melting, I guess. That's how that works. And then we have the main control cable that's going to go behind the monitor and plug into like the OEM port inside of the car. And honestly, I think that's it. Yep, that's it. All right, there you have it, guys. The stock cluster. And then we're gonna go ahead and install the digital gauge cluster. Let me just go ahead and remove this protective screen and give it a really nice clean. All right, we're good to go. There we go. Oh yeah, this is good. This is gonna be a complete transformation, guys. I cannot wait. I really do hope the unit is good. I haven't tested it out myself, but on paper, it seems phenomenal. So remember those ventilation tubes I was telling you about, those plastic ones? This is it. So we have to cut into this. I have to cut out the sticker around the, the provided shape here. The placement of it depends if your car is right hand drive or left hand drive. For left hand drive, it's going to be placed like this over the tube. And then I'll go grab a blade and cut into it and put the shield over it. I guess you can do this while the tube is already inside. I mean, it's a bit of a tight squeeze. I don't think if I'd be able to remove it and then place it back. I'm just gonna leave it in there. I'll cut out the sticker and then we'll start cutting. All right, here's what we got. I can tell you, it's a pain in the ass to cut the ventilation tubes while still installed. Obviously, I was using just a small blade. By the way, you want to be safe around blades. Use protective gear. I cut like 3 of my fingers doing this. If you have like an X-Acto knife or a small saw or something, it'll probably make it easier. But it's so hard to get it precise. But this should be good enough. Let me go ahead and get the plate, which should be facing like this. We'll put it in there, and it should just fall flat right there, right there. That's how it should fall. So I'll remove the sticker here since I don't need it no more. It looks like we have double-sided tape on here. I'll go ahead and put that, and then we'll connect the wiring. All right, so I'm done installing the cluster. Give you guys my impressions here in a second. Normally you would connect the battery back, but I never took it off. So if you're gonna do this installation yourself, you're dealing with electrical components, you want to disconnect the battery. Before we switch the car on, I'm sure you guys are very curious what the fitment looks like, so I will show you what I've seen. Top section right here has a little bit of a gap. It's very small, not very noticeable. It's noticeable to me, but probably not to others. Not bad for aftermarket. It's pretty clean on the sides, very flush with the dashboard itself. The bottom has a slight gap that goes across the entire bottom. That could have just been an installation error by me. Maybe I had to position the screen just a little bit lower so it doesn't bulge up there. I'll probably take this off like tomorrow or something and try to readjust it. I'll keep you guys updated on Instagram. Not too bad. I would say fitment is about 85%. Just the bottom section here, which I think I can adjust, and that's it. Let's go ahead and switch on the car and see what it looks like for the first time. Yeah, don't mind that noise. That is the electronics to my port injection kit. I might have to... Ooh, welcome, Christian. Yo, that is the... oh my god, guys. I'm seeing it for the first time. and the screen looks crystal clear. It's very sunny right now, so there's a lot of reflection. Holy crap, I did not expect this to look so clean. I don't know why I thought it would look more pixelated. No, this is some high definition stuff right here. Let me try to reposition the car so we don't get this crazy glare. All right, guys, so I went ahead and repositioned the car. The glare's still here, but not as bad as it was out there in the driveway. Guys, like I got to play around with the unit for a little bit, and it's absolutely amazing. So you have the menu here, which you control with the stock here. You got brightness, appearance. Brightness is all the way low, so this can go a lot brighter. We have the appearance right here. You have the themes. You can set it for day and night, so I guess it would automatically switch between, you know, the ones that you want. Ooh, that's clean. Then you have the next one here, which is, I believe, what, deep orange or something like that. That one's a little bit hard to see. Probably have to adjust the brightness. That one, bright blaze. Woo, I like that one. This can actually go with a theme that I'm shooting for. See, if you don't do anything with the menu, it automatically exits out. I need to change that up in the settings, because like if you don't select something, it just automatically kicks you out. All right, let me go back to themes. You see the stock right here? You gotta use this like thumb control, which is kind of annoying. I think mine is getting old and it's not working as well, which is why I'm going so slow through the menus. Fierce Austin. Yeah, that's nice too. Like I said, the brightness is only like 30%, so you can always increase this. So here's the thing. Mine came preloaded with a few themes because I'm reviewing the unit. But you can go out their website, assuming you buy the digital gauge cluster, and you can buy like software updates and special themes and skins and stuff like that to really customize it the way you want. I seen a very nice speed and performance looking RPM theme that unfortunately I don't have, but I might have to spend my money to get it because it was freaking dope. It kind of like changes this into like a race style gauge where it only puts emphasis on the RPM, which is the most important part, and I thought that was pretty cool. Anyways, going back into the menus, gauge type. So if you want to display coolant temp, oil temps and stuff like that, you can customize it, which is the very bottom section right here. I'm not gonna go through all the stuff. If you guys want to see a more in-depth video of this, let me know in the comment section below. In this video, I'm just kind of show you guys some of the highlights, some of the features that I was able to find that I thought were pretty cool. Back to settings we go. Date and time, I'll adjust that later on. I did adjust the units. So vehicle units, Imperial, there you go, miles per hour. Woo, top speed of 200 miles per hour, baby. I do got a bottom on single turbo kit, so that's maybe possible. I'll probably fry my motor while I'm at it too. All right, let's see. Temperature, I put that in Fahrenheit instead of Celsius. Anyways, you guys get the point. This is pretty cool. So what I'm gonna end up doing right now is, let's go take the car for a drive. I actually wanna see how the latency is on the cluster to see if there's like a lot of lag with the RPMs and the actual speed gauge on the left hand side. Something I'm very curious about. How responsive is it? We'll find out. Guys, this gauge cluster is super legit. Look how clean it looks, and it's very responsive too. It's not very laggy. It's very fluid. It gives you all the information you need, RPM, oil temps. You can customize that to coolant temperature. I even got shift indicator lights. If you look closely where the car is at, look at the little lights that show up, right? The little green ones behind the car. I set it to 7,000 RPM, which is really cool, and that changes from theme to theme. You get all the faults, like if you have like the door open, coolant's low or anything like that, it does show you everything. Even turn signals, which I don't know what that is, it even shows that on the screen too. It's really cool, and it's very responsive. I was gonna try out the whole horsepower and torque feature on here, but I'm not gonna do it just because I can't really push this car too much. There's a reason why I haven't made videos on it. I made 700 horsepower, which is insanely fast, and I need the right suspension, wheels, tires, and brakes, which are all on the way here, and I don't want to push this car in the streets yet because it's just not very stable right now. So you guys won't see a lot of like strong pulls with this car, but I'll show you guys a little bit, just enough so you guys can get an idea how good this gauge cluster performs. The cluster is definitely very responsive though. See that? It's very responsive. This really changes the interior of the car, guys. It really does. Look. Maybe I'll do a quick fourth gear pull. Let's see. That doesn't get old. I'm getting a lot of tire spin though. This gauge cluster is the real deal. Like, it's super impressive. Has to be one of the coolest BMW modifications I've ever seen for the E90, E60, E70, E80. Like, it's really cool. So much so that I feel like reaching out to the company and trying to convince them to allow me to sell it to you guys here in the United States. Is that something you guys would be interested in? If it is, let me know down in the comment section below. I would essentially stock them here in the US and sell them on vehiclerivals.com. And if enough of you guys comment in the comment section below that you guys are interested in it, then I might be able to use that as ammunition when I have discussions with the company. In the meantime, if you guys want to buy one right now, I'll leave a link to their website down in the description below, so check them out. Before you guys leave, if you enjoyed the video, make sure and hit the like button. It really does help out the channel. It also lets me know that you guys might want to see a part 2 or a very similar video. I will also be installing a very modern head unit onto the E90 as well, which is packed with a lot of features. So please hit the like button. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Notification bell on, that way you guys don't miss out on my next upload. And as always, thanks for watching. Till next time.